another moment to talk about safety. Now, first and foremost, never look directly at the sun. It's not safe and it can cause damage.
But there are lots of ways to safely view the eclipse without looking directly at the sun. Be sure to visit eclipse2017.nasa.gov for detailed instructions and advice.
Now, you may have seen these eclipse glasses, right?
I've got my pair.
They are designed with special purpose solar filters.
So ordinary sunglasses, even very dark ones, are not safe for looking at the sun.
Now, even if you don't have glasses, you have options. For one thing...
So speaking of the protective eyewear, by default, everybody in here has the Eclipse glasses on. If you do want to take those off, if you want to rest your eyes or something, you'll see the there's the glasses icon kind of above the main menu. If you click that off and on, if you're on PC, you can go up to the mirror and check it out. If you're on a Gear VR, you're not going to be able to do that. So, but definitely take a bunch of selfies. We got our nice Altspace logo right in the front and center. Come get your picture with Francois. I've been having a great summer so far, so I have a little bit of a tan compared to normal, and I'm happy you guys are all here watching the Eclipse party.
Eclipse2017.nasa.gov. It's the only time that's safe to take these glasses off when you're looking at the eclipse is if you're in the path of totality during the brief few minutes that the moon completely blocks the sun. Let's watch this video to learn more.
Ooh, cool. So is there anybody in the States that is actually going to be in the path of totality? Anybody in any of those states where the eclipse is going to be? Is that Nicole? Nicole, you want to put your hand up again? Hi, Nicole. Okay, so I think I have your broadcast. Are you in one of the states where the eclipse is?
Yes.
Wow, that's so cool. And you've like totally said, hey, real life is super lame. I want to be in Altspace and I want to be in VR to watch the eclipse. Why are you here? Or are you just you're here for the pre-show and then during the event you're gonna hop out and check it out? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh wow, that's so cool. And is there anybody else that is going to be in the path of totality? Fluffy Panda, you're going to be in the eclipse? Fluffy?
On August 21st, 2017, the Earth will cross the shadow of the Moon, creating a total solar eclipse. Eclipses happen about every 6 months, but this one is special. For the first time in almost 40 years, the path of the Moon's shadow passes through the continental United States. Everyone there will see the Moon at least partially block the Sun. People within the path of totality, shown here in red, will witness a total solar eclipse. For them, the Moon will cover the Sun entirely. The sky will become twilight, the air will cool, the stars will appear,
the sunglasses
and the black disk
especially
of the
good
Moon
on you.
will be surrounded by the pale, streaming halo of the Sun's corona. Totality will last for 2 minutes or a little more, and it will be visible along a swath that crosses the continent, from Oregon to South Carolina. For some, it will be the spectacle of a lifetime.
Nico, I was just going to mute you. You're getting some feedback through your setup. I totally forgot to have breakfast this morning.
I forgot to have breakfast this morning too, but... Taste the sun. Oh.
Yeah. Me too.
This is crazy, but this is cool.
Dude. Oh, well, I have my Xbox One Connect plugged into an adapter, plugged into my computer, and then it
Coming up
scans
during
my
our
arms
1
in.
p.m. broadcast, we will have a live demonstration with a pinhole viewer and more ways to safely view today's eclipse.
NASA TV is going to be bringing you real-time, breathtaking images. In locations across the country, we have cameras, and telescopes, and balloons, and aircraft, and even spare spacecraft. It's natural phenomenon.
Got it all. I can't wait. But right now, let's take a minute to learn about one of the aircraft being used today. NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center operates a Gulfstream 3 airplane for aerodynamics research and mission support. Today, their flight path is taking them over the Pacific Ocean to see the very first view of the total solar eclipse as it begins to cross the country.
Let's watch this video to learn more about their Eclipse mission.
NASA's G3 aircraft out of Armstrong Flight Research Center will feed the world live video coverage of the eclipse from the west coast of Oregon as it begins its path across America. So we hope to bring that view through the eyes of NASA. We go out there and modify aircraft all the time so we can go out there and do NASA science. It's what we do. In the case of this aircraft, we've gone out there and taken the normal passenger windows and replaced them with optical grade windows, plus put in a telemetry system so we can go out there and provide real-time video. With these optical grade windows, it allows our photo and video teams to go out there and capture high-resolution video at 35,000 feet to present to the world this rare event. And using
By the
this
way,
event
if you
to
take
go
your
out
gear
there
with
and
you into the
educate
bathroom,
people,
we
I think
can
it's
hear
an
that.
exciting proposition.
All right, it's just about to turn.
Oh, dishes, washing dishes, eh?
We want to make sure we get to the right spot, and also there are limitations for what our photographers can do. We pushed it as far west as we could go, so we could get that as early as possible and as low in the horizon as possible. And that put us at about Lincoln City, Oregon, which is the farthest west point, right on the.
And by the way, if you're washing your hair, it still sounds like you're in the bathroom.
Right over Lincoln City. We know exactly the width of the totality swath. With that, we did some planning again to make sure we know what the stall speeds are, the slowest speeds, the safest speeds to fly, the speeds that will give us the most time inside the totality region. We can slip the airplane. That'll give us a more bank angle, which lets our cameras see a little bit
Okay,
higher.
that doesn't make sense.
So all of those kinds of things were what went into from a pilot standpoint, planning this out.
All right, you guys ready to turn in again for a partial?
I think it makes us proud of what we do, and that we're able to share it with everybody around the world in this case, due to the modifications to the airplane.
That airplane looks
That's what we do.
cool. There's the sun.
Great. I can't wait to see what that G3 is going to show us today.
That was amazing, and it's going to be an incredible view, the first view of the solar eclipse as it's literally crossing into the United States.
So basically, it is off the west coast right now, so it's getting a view of the eclipse before we even get a view from land.
Right,
of that partial eclipse.
And that G3, it's just one of a fleet of NASA.
Lynn, I'm not sure. It sounds like you have maybe a fan or something at your microphone.
We mentioned earlier,
I don't know if maybe you just want to move the fan away a little bit, or just stay muted until you want to talk. Otherwise, it's just kind of a little bit loud. Oh, that's better.
More about
Awesome.
that in our 1 p.m. broadcast as well. But we've got you covered here in terms of eclipse, not only looking at it from the ground, looking at it from the sky, looking at it even from space. I don't know if we can get a little preview to that.
Great. And you know what I just heard? We've got the Salem, Oregon eclipse
wonderful.
starting. This is the partial transit, and we're going to the G3 now to see what they
Live
can
to the
see.
G3.
Hello.
We've got an exclusive feed as they fly over the Pacific Ocean, and Kevin Rohr from NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center is standing by. Do we have Kevin?
Okay.
All right, he's
All right.
going to be up soon.
But you can see, and we actually have a monitor here on set in Charleston, so we can actually see what they're seeing
Oh,
live.
sweet.
You can see the transit beginning as the moon is just starting to eclipse the sun.
we supposed to be
Is that
able to see it
incredible
through the
image,
window?
Karen?
No, it's beautiful. And so just to be clear, what you see on the screen right now, right, is that partial transit. The partial transit
I gotta go outside and look
can
real
take,
quick.
the partial
back in a
eclipse can
second.
take, up to 3 hours, a little bit longer in any one location, whereas the total eclipse, that's only about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Right. A lot of people talk about the totality, lasting maybe at most 2 minutes or so. But sometimes people don't realize that in terms of the entire eclipse, from the very beginning of when the moon starts to cross over the sun's surface till the end is actually much longer.
Yep.
He's possessed.
Great. So let's talk a little bit more about these eclipses, because I want to tell you one of the things that I think is one of the cool things about total solar.
That's simply down to the telescope and to the filters that they're using to try to bring us the best image from their telescope today.
And if people in Idaho are watching, will they be able to see this with their eclipse glasses?
Well, that's always one of the things. How quickly can you see the start of the partial eclipse through your partial eclipse glasses? Certainly, when we get to this this level of eclipse, yes, people watching now with their glasses are going to.
Solar eclipse occurs when the moon moves between the Earth and the sun, blocks the sun's light, and casts a shadow on the Earth. When the moon completely covers the bright disk of the sun, that's a total solar eclipse, and it happens roughly every year and a half somewhere on Earth. A partial solar eclipse is more common, happening at least twice a year.
I'll be back. I'm glad to see you.
A lunar eclipse, on the other hand, is where the moon moves behind the Earth, so it's now the Earth blocking the sun's light on the moon, creating a shadow on it with a red tint. The easy way to remember the difference is to remember what gets darker. With the solar eclipse, the sun gets darker, and during a lunar eclipse, the moon does. A solar eclipse is a rare event that not many get to see because the moon's shadow is relatively small. This limits the locations on Earth that get to see it. You have to be on the sunny side of the planet, and you have to be in the path of the moon's shadow. So, if you find your area in the path of totality one year, you've hit the jackpot, because on average, that same spot on Earth will only get to see a solar eclipse every 375 years. During a solar eclipse, the moon casts a shadow with two parts, the umbra and penumbra. The moon's umbra is part of the moon's shadow where the entire sun is blocked by the moon.
He's got full body track.
In space, it's a cone extending some 400,000 kilometers behind the moon. It's when the small end of this cone hits the Earth that we experience a total solar eclipse. Most eclipse maps depicting the path will show you a circle representing the shadow of the moon, but in actuality, the true shape of the umbra is more like an irregular polygon with slightly curved edges. This is because the moon isn't a perfect circle. It has mountains and valleys on its surface, which all affect the passing sunlight and subsequent shape of its shadow. And scientists now have a greater understanding of the shape of the moon's surface, thanks to NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. The unprecedented level of detail from the topographic maps, photos, and other datasets has allowed us to more precisely pinpoint the regions on Earth falling within the path of totality.
We're having an
eclipse.
Eclipse 2017 event. We're going to have totality coming up in 57 minutes.
Our little moon plays a role that's quite large.
Hey,
a Mitsubishi guest, sponsored by Mitsubishi.
Wow, that was amazing.
guy.
So now we've got a live shot from that G3 aircraft looking out the window.
Can you hear me?
And
as the eclipse begins.
We're going to be seeing the eclipse live from this G3. It's 35,000
hands
feet up in the air.
Hey,
Pacific
if you're a true eclipse player.
Eclipse begins. Very interesting to see how they had to sort of retrofit it with the special glass for the best viewing possible.
Can you hear me?
And I'm sure it's an exciting moment.
Oh yeah, I love Heroes. Season 1, season 1.
The G3 are feeling right now.
Great, and coming up we will have some live interviews from the G3. And now we are once again looking at the eclipse from Salem, Oregon. So to all the people who are out there in Oregon, this is what they are getting to see right now. That
Great, yes.
Little glimpse of the
Schmitty.
moon.
Crucial.
It almost looks like a bite out of a cookie, right?
Oh.
First glimpse of the moon passing in front of the sun. The moon is in the path of totality, so they will have a chance to see the full eclipse.
In this heartbreaking edition, the Eclipse Heroes version. I don't know. Season 1 was so absolutely amazing. And then I don't know, the writer's strike happened or whatever, and it just like I've never seen such a turn. The show is so amazing, and then it just wow. And I think I stopped watching, I think I canceled my cable subscription and was like a cord cutter right after that. It's like I'm so sad.
When depicting an eclipse path, data visualizers have traditionally represented the moon's shadow as an old
Jeez, I'm doing it, everybody.
For today's eclipse, for the first time, NASA visualizers were able to show that the moon's shadow is actually better represented at the
Give another little speech.
and this complicated shape is based on several NASA observations,
Oh, cool.
including information
Wanted
from
to know about
NASA's
that.
Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is currently orbiting the moon as we speak right now. The spacecraft has a unique view of the mountains and valleys that form the moon's jagged horizon.
Let's learn more now about mapping today's eclipse using NASA's unique data.
All right, so thanks again, everybody, for coming out to the Eclipse viewing party. I'm Schmidt Tech, community coordinator here at Altspace. So we got a couple different rooms here. So if you're in the other room, you just want to put your hand up, or if you're in your hand, if you want to put your hand up here, look down to the bottom left and click on the emoji icon. You put your hand up, and I can bring you in from the other room here, and you guys can have a little chat about it. Okay, Grok, you're live on the air. What's up? How's it going in the other room? How you enjoying the programming so far?
Things that are based on data.
I'm enjoying it great. I'm here in Utah, so it's kind of past
laser altimetry data from that, which
Oh, that's awesome. So you're going to be in here for most of it, watching the NASA YouTube stream, and then maybe at in about an hour you'll hop outside and take a look.
Positions of the Earth, Moon, and Sun.
So have you gone out in the last minute or two? I just went and took a quick look. You can actually start to see the moon cutting the sun out. Do you have eclipse glasses with you?
It's the most accurate tabulation of those positions. This visualization is unique because it shows the effect of both the irregular
that's fantastic.
edge of the moon, the limb of the moon,
very cool.
and the elevation of the
Thanks,
observer.
Grok.
Now, we've known for a long time that the elevation of the observer affects where the shadow is. We've also known that
Who else is next?
mountains
Anybody else
and
want to say
valleys
some
along
cool
the
science
edge
stuff? Anybody know
of
any
the
fun
moon
facts about
affect
the
shadow.
eclipse that they want
So
to
you may
share?
have seen on eclipse maps in the past that the
How about, all right,
image
DJ
of the
Crucial.
umbra
DJ Crucial, drop some science on us.
around the edge of the moon.
Oh, actually,
we
I
have
was just
these
wanting to
sort
say
of
hello
jagged
and
peaks and valleys.
how are you guys doing
And the
today?
peak can block the sun a little bit.
Oh, fantastic, great. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
A few seconds longer than you thought.
Are you excited? You've been waiting for this for a while?
Yeah, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, so it's going to be coming over us, but I want to be able to see it. I don't have pinhole projectors or anything.
It hasn't actually been seen in exactly this way before.
That's great. Yeah. Well, I think the science, that NASA's doing, and with all the balloons and the airplane and stuff, I think watching this on YouTube is probably the best coverage you're going to be able to get.
Or 2.5 minutes when
Very rare.
on the
Appreciate
map
it. Hit me up
and
after this,
draw
dude.
that
You
shape.
look my name.
Totality is that 2 minutes
Absolutely.
when
You got it, DJ.
2.5 minutes when the moon completely covers the sun. The sudden darkness of totality is just something that a lot of people
I love this
can't
animation.
compare
It's
to
amazing.
anything else. I love the idea that
Does anybody know if it's visible in the UK?
So there's a lot of great science being done
I think it's only
today,
United
and this
States
eclipse
size.
provides an opportunity for researchers to test
States.
innovation for future NASA missions too. NASA
keep out
scientists
It was pretty cool about 2 years ago here in the UK.
A little early for beer, I think.
reveals the corona, which is our star's faint outer atmosphere.
And this year, scientists will test a special kind of camera. The team will only have 120
Guys, I'm so
seconds
happy
to complete an
Altspace is
experiment
back.
that may one day change the design of sun-observing spacecraft.
Look
Let's
at
learn
you!
more about how this team of NASA scientists is chasing the sun.
I love the NASA. I can't wait to see the American. Can't wait to see the great American eclipse today.
You have a NASA shirt, but you're not wearing it.
Happens, we make use of it and try to test.
I can't wait to see it today.
Yes.
Well, even if it's dirty, I think you should put that puppy on. Today's the day for it.
We have been preparing for maybe more than a year.
Nothing can go wrong. Your camera can't shut down, you can't press the
today.
wrong button because there's no time to change your mind or...
Oh, I was muted the whole time. I was trying to talk to you guys. Like, why is no one responding to me?
Oh, okay. Well, if anybody in the other room wants to add to the conversation, please hit the emoji button and raise your hand, and we can get you in here. And we can, do some sciencey goodness. Figure out where you're from, what your experience is. Oh, it's Mac.
All right.
Hey, Mac, what's up? You're in the other room now. How's it going over there? How are you doing today?
It's going good.
So once they
That's great. So, are you in the path of totality?
it's my job to make sure that the image is
Okay.
field of view.
And do you have some Eclipse eyewear or Jamaica pinhole camera? Are you going to be going outside and viewing it?
Filter wheel.
I'm gonna be going outside and doing it.
different exposure time.
That's
So
fantastic.
another person
You got a group of people there with you, with your family? Who are you going to go see it with?
is a combined
Just
effort
my whole
of
family.
6 different hands. No one person.
Oh, that's great. Oh, cool. And your parakeet? Do you have parakeet protective eyewear for your bird?
We do feel the
I
pressure
don't
and
think
also
so.
the excitement of the eclipse.
Are you going to be doing any experiments to see how the bird's going to freak out during the eclipse when it's getting dark out?
I don't think so.
All right, so just be mindful that the bird may freak out a little bit. I mean, they don't know. It's been a while since they've observed one of these things.
Would be awesome.
That's an amazing shot. And right now we're going to
Just cover the bird like it's time for bed. Just. That could be quite amusing.
Bit about that because if you've received you have the data point to respond to that.
Yeah, you know, honestly, when I
This
first
eclipse
saw
looks pretty exciting. They should have more of these.
I was like, well,
Good
I've
eye,
seen
Mac.
eclipses, I've seen partial eclipses. Probably
We got the stormtroopers. That's great.
Been a real eclipse.
What is this woman? What is this
Well,
woman
it is a lot
doing?
like
What is this woman
the last Star Wars, where there's that
What is she doing?
And the next
Star
one
Killer
was in
thing that
Indonesia.
sucks up the
And when
sun's
eclipse happened,
you know,
it
power.
was
So
about
kind of
85%
apropos.
coverage, as I could see with my pinhole projectors and my glasses. At about that moment, I noticed the sky around me started getting noticeably dark, and the temperature dropped about 10 degrees.
So it's pretty amazing that the proportion of the size of the moon is actually relative to the distance that the moon is from the sun. And so it lines up perfectly. That's quite a funny coincidence.
Your vision is you're seeing things differently. The shadows are changing. The animals are acting differently.
I think it's 400 times
I
or
do want to
something.
take
I can't
a
remember.
quick moment to say that welcome our friends from NASA TV who are joining us.
Acting differently.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
know about
phenomenal.
that. I do want to take a quick moment to say that welcome our friends from NASA TV who are joining us from Charleston. Hope they have clear skies there.
Oh, wow.
We clearly are having clear weather here.
We're having clear
A
weather.
little bit of clouds, but easy to manage. Great views. What other strategies could you share with our fans to prepare for the eclipse?
Hey Schmidt,
Just to basically when the
To see
eclipse
these
happens,
sort of eclipse views, what other strategies could you share with our fans to prepare for the eclipse?
just to basically when the eclipse happens, spend all of your time with all the different devices and pinhole projectors. You were looking at
The countdown timer until it's ready.
Until it's ready. Take their eclipse glasses off during totality, and they miss the whole thing because they think it's unsafe. But you're not actually looking at the sun during totality. You're looking at the backside of the moon, which is pretty dark. I mean, it's the darkest. People forget to take their eclipse glasses off during totality, and they miss the whole. The sun just magically appear across the sky, and you'll see several stars today. I think we have and planets. So we have the potential to see 4 or 5, I believe, planets and stars.
Okay, but you have to be pretty strategic at that point, right?
Yeah.
Because that's during totality.
That's during
right,
totality.
So you got to get your solar experience, and you got to swing your telescope around, see, or will you be seeing them with the naked eye?
You can see it with the naked eye during totality. I recommend everybody look at it with the naked eye during totality.
Perfect.
But as soon as one bit of sunlight starts to come around the sun, trust me, it is super bright, and immediately put on those glasses and start using your pinhole projectors again.
You can like make a makeshift. I don't know if you guys have like paper plates, but you can poke a hole in one, and then you can actually project the sun onto
And you know
this
something I
little
have to
paper
tell you,
plate
we have a
to
Flickr
look at it
gallery
if you
that
don't have
people are
anything to view
uploading
directly.
many
But
pictures
yeah,
to right
the
now.
sun.
So we would recommend and highly recommend that you
I just
go to
tested
the
it
Eclipse
out.
2017
Yo, what up,
NASA
pinhole
website.
projectors?
You'll see the Flickr links there, and these beautiful images
Basically,
that you're
just
seeing right now
just
are
poke a
images
little
that were already
a little
uploaded just over
pinhole,
the last
and
several days.
the light source, the sun, will show through there, so you can see
Yeah, you
like
can't take them with you. They got to stay here.
Lots of really creative work. I think that's spectacular and a great part of what's going on during
Yeah,
the
just a little
People
paper.
of all ages are ready for this.
2 paper
It's
plates.
fantastic. Well, I tell you what, Troy, thanks so much
All right,
for coming
explain that to me real quick. 2 paper plates. What about it?
Yeah, so you poke a hole in one of the paper plates, and then you can kind of focus it in. So you kind of make sure you have it as directly, kind of like when you're playing with a microscope to burn ants or whatever. You can focus it in on the flat plate and see the eclipse through that.
We are standing on about the
Or we can just
line
stick it up on the screen on the YouTube.
And of course, the stadium is
So I'll put 2 holes in the plates and look out.
You've been mirrored. You're in both rooms now. Do you have anything that you'd like to talk about the eclipse with the rooms of people?
Wait, no. I can be in both rooms.
Now, apparently you're not going to be in the path of totality because you're in another part of the planet. Tell us, how do you feel about being in Altspace and be able to watch it on the live stream here?
Well, I feel lucky to be here, but it sucks that it's not in Germany.
1987. It's a nationwide effort. Every state in the union.
Right. Yes. Okay. So have you put in a formal complaint with anybody about this happening?
Oh yeah, I'll talk to you guys,
about 55 student teams placed from Oregon to
Okay.
South Carolina.
Well, it never hurts, right? So that's a good idea. Maybe in I don't know when the next one is in Europe. I know there's another one in America in another eight years or so.
The National Weather Service was
Thank you, Morris.
monstrous
Appreciate your time.
In my memory was like 100 feet long, but yours are a little bit different. Can you talk about the structure of these balloons?
So these are normal balloons that
Oh, that's Morris. If you click on their avatar, you see their name tag will pop up, and that's how you can get to know who someone's name is, and you can also add them as a friend or mute them or block them if they're causing a problem. Morris wasn't too bad. I wouldn't block him right away, but give him a couple chances.
He's awesome.
And if I
vouch.
believe right now on your television screen, I think.
And who we got, Terry?
Seeing some data and video.
Terry, we can kind of hear like the stereo behind you or something like that. I'm not sure if you had a chance to maybe turn your TV down or just maybe hit mute until you wanted to say something. It's just kind of loud in your background. Appreciate it.
Nick, can you see me still?
But it's pretty
Super
quiet right now,
Terry.
but that has not done anything to the enthusiasm of the crowd that's building here.
And now we've got that G3 aircraft, the one we talked about earlier. It's ready. They're 35,000
Oh, DJ Crucial. DJ Crucial back in the house.
I had something to say. Yeah, you know, it's been like 4 decades since this last
NASA's
one.
Armstrong Flight Research Center is standing by.
I saw it when I was a kid.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I can't remember when the last one was around, but I was a little tyke when it was here, and I was in like whatchamacallit, like daycare, and they took us out to see it. I don't remember what they did. I think we all made pinhole projectors or something, but it was pretty awesome.
We've got a fantastic look out the window right now. We're circling above Lincoln City. We've got a little bit of cloud cover down there, but we're going to have a fantastic view of the eclipse.
I don't remember the exact moment. I just remember the teachers were like, okay, we're taking you outside to look at the sun, but don't look at the sun. And I was just kind of freaked out a little bit about what was happening. And it's like, it's kind of like a little, like, sort of like a nightmare because it was got dark out all of a sudden. So yeah, pretty cool.
What's the deal with both rooms?
We got to see the first bites out of the sun from the moon.
What's that?
What's the deal with mirroring us into another room?
I really want to thank all the teams that are out there all over.
Oh, so what's happening right now is we're having a front row event. So we try not to have too many people in the same room for lag reasons and drawing too many pixels. So we have it spread out. So I'm mirrored in both rooms. You guys see me in both rooms. And then when you put your hand up, I click on you, then you get brought into the other room, and then everybody can hear what you're saying.
Field of study. So Thomas, what do you think so far?
Oh, it's amazing. We're already seeing it
Yeah,
happening,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, careful if you put your hand up. I just might call on you.
The United States.
Well, for us, it's a great opportunity. The totality across the continent, we're going to learn as much as we can. We study heliophysics and astrophysics in NASA, and this is a great opportunity for us to learn even more and have every instrument we have out there available to us to try to understand what we're going to see for the first time in 99 years. So just very, very exciting to see what we can do here and the observations that we're going to get. Can't wait to see the science come in and all the different science we're going to get from here. So, everybody's going to learn something. So you tell me what you think you're going to learn, Thomas, having been studying this for your whole career.
Well, look, my field of study is the sun, and what's really unique about this time.
Oh, I love that story.
The opportunity to see.
That's awesome. Hey, Grok's back. Grok, you got muted again, but there you go. Hey, how's it going over there?
I just muted myself. I stepped out for a bit, but I have a pinhole projector I made out of a tube, like a little shipping tube. But I also tested it out with 2 paper plates. So if you're like close to the eclipse, you can actually just like step outside for a bit, poke a hole in one paper plate, and then project the sun actually onto the other one.
This radiation affects us.
Oh, that's really cool. So the other one, you just have it lying on the ground? Are you like kind of angled a little bit? How do you have the one on the ground?
You talking about the tube one?
Our astronauts, as we send crew for
The paper plate one. That sounds like a really easy way to make a pinhole projector.
Yeah, so just lay the paper plate on the ground, and then the other one, the one with the hole in it, you just kind of aim the sun at the plate, and then you can kind of move it in and out. Yeah, well, like a really small hole, like literally just a little like sewing needle hole.
Like the lead of a pencil hole.
Yeah, pretty much. Did you use like a paper clip to make that, or like a tack?
Yep.
I just used a little like thumbtack. Yeah.
Thumbtack.
Do that right now.
Just the very tip. Just the.
Yeah, just the
just
that's very cool. Well, yeah. So if you're pretty much anywhere in America or Canada, you could give that a try. You'd see an actual cutout of the sun on the ground. That's amazing. Thanks, Brock.
Balloons going up. We've got airborne science like we're even doing here.
No, nobody said that.
On the G3.
No, and that was a tack to make. You just want a really small.
Today.
Nothing to see here.
Is basically taking the light of the sun, which is white, and spreads it into its colors.
Altspace.
And what we're going to see is during the time of now and partial totality, we basically see during the partial eclipse, we see the radiation from the surface of the sun, the photosphere, and all colors.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be like a a big downturn in the economy whenever there's a solar eclipse.
And that radiation actually has two predominant lines. One is a really hot iron, and the other one is it's hot because it's 1,000,000 degrees because of that magnetic field. The other one is helium.
Good point.
Please don't move.
Helios, the sun in Greek. So it was actually discovered during an eclipse, just like it
today.
Very cool. So here we are, about 30 minutes away from totality. But you can explain to me what you think from a spectrograph perspective. You're going to look out the window.
Great.
What are you going to see there?
Well, so for me, the amazing part really is that we're able to, of course, see our star in its beauty. And I'm already kind of emotionally touched even now. But also, we're going to see how that eclipse, that the lack of radiation, this perfect cloud that the moon makes affects the Earth and its turbulence. And I mean, I'm really going to see what we're going to feel it up here.
Cool. All right, thanks, Thomas, and thanks for sharing everybody out there. I tell you, about 30 minutes away. We're going to measure as much as we can here, and I'm about to fight this man for a window seat. So when you get on an airplane and you look for a window seat, get your glasses on. We're going to look out here, and we're going to wrap up here from the G3 and send it back to Solar Eclipse Central. See you guys soon.
I don't have the hand control.
That's interesting. Yeah, so I think the NASA has 2 planes up there that they're doing it, and I think they're getting about 7 minutes of eclipse time instead of about 2.5 minutes, depending on where you are.
South Carolina. I want to
Yeah, and there was and there was some domestic flights that people were taking, kind of, from I don't know, Chicago to Arizona or something, and they got pretty much anybody in a plane is going to see it. You want to definitely make sure you have the eclipse glasses if you're.
That's too much. That's too much money just to see that.
Right here.
Right? I don't know, these only happen every once like
Salem, Oregon.
Showing you earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, though.
Describing it as the moon taking a bite out of the sun. It's continuing to happen, and what it looks like, Karen, is like it's almost like the sun. What we see is almost like a crescent moon, but it's not. It's the moon is actually the black portion.
Okay.
Portion of the sun that's being blocked out. As we get closer and closer toward totality, which, as Robert and Thomas said from the G3 aircraft, is only about 30 minutes away for folks in Oregon.
And we will go right to Madras, which is right near Oregon. This is another view of the eclipse. One of the
That's in South Carolina right now?
Eclipse, Sean, right, is that the totality will be
I was about to say.
so long. So we're about to start seeing it in Oregon, but normally, most times when you have an eclipse, a lot of it happens over the ocean, right? The ocean gets
1979.
So folks, especially here in the United States, this is the first time from coast to coast that we've seen a total solar eclipse since 1979. And so that's why for a lot of folks, they're talking about this being a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And remember, it takes about 90 minutes for the totality portion of the eclipse to cross the United States, the continental United States. So as they mentioned earlier from the G3, about 30 minutes from now to the totality there, about 90 minutes to get to where we are here in Charleston. So that means what? Time's right, in about 2 hours, we'll be totality here.
And we are now going to go to Salem, Oregon, where Jesse Carpenter will be talking to Nikki Vile, a solar scientist from NASA.
Anyone from Florida? From Georgia? Hey, give me a high five. I've been there.
Welcome back
to
Is that Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's Salem.
I'm joining you with Solar NASA.
Yeah,
Solar
yeah, a lot of
physicist
witchcraftery.
Hi. Hey, so why don't we just take a look at what we've got going on here now?
It's like barbecue out there.
Yeah, so the moon is crossing in front of the sun, and it's kind of looking like the moon is taking a bite out of the sun. And if you guys have any colanders with you, like a kitchen colander strainer, you can actually
Ooh, I'm gonna get a colander.
Sunlight come through that colander and look at the shadow on the ground below you. You'll actually be able to see the projected image of the moon taking a bite out of the sun down on the ground in front of you.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can just get something from the kitchen and share that with everyone who you're watching this with. That's great.
That's right. Now's the time to take out your pinhole cameras if you have those, or if you have those, the safety Eclipse glasses. Now's the time to get these out and make sure to look at the sun with these on.
That's right. You want to be watching safely. And I know we've been talking about it, but we really can't stress it enough. It's very important to be wearing these glasses.
It's just so amazing, though.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I was just about to do something very similar.
So, what are
awesome.
some basics
hashtag.
that you could share with us? I know we
Did you
were
put
trying to
hashtag
present some of
Eclipse?
that a little bit earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But are there some
Then you get the
things
little
that maybe you could talk a little bit
It puts
about
the emoji in for
layers
you.
of the sun?
Yeah. So there's sort of three outer layers of the sun. There's the photosphere, that's the part we're seeing now. There's the chromosphere and the corona above that. The chromosphere and the corona, that's the solar atmosphere. Now what's cool about today is that usually we get to see the photosphere, the visible surface of the sun. But today, during totality, we're going to get to see the atmosphere, the chromosphere and the corona of the sun. And we don't usually get to see those because they're so much less bright than the sun. It takes something special, like today's total solar eclipse, to be able to see them.
I know, this is my first time in Altspace.
Really amazing. We're going to get to see that.
It is so cool.
Mine was
take it away, Charleston.
I think what we're going to be doing now is sending it back to NASA's Eclipse Central in Charleston. Take it away, guys.
Well, okay.
Jesus Christ.
You
can hear these students.
Yeah, I like Echo Arena, but I got 2 cents. And I can't face back. So that's
the kid is stoked.
Just a few days ago, the college of Charleston students are excited, and I wanted
All right, so I'm just gonna head out for a couple minutes, guys. I'm gonna go check my Twitter and go outside and look at the sun. So, what can I say?
All right. So right now, what we're looking at on your screen is.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bounce too, but I'll be back in a little bit. I'll see you guys.
Yeah,
I
me
am
too.
Karen Fox with NASA TV.
Me too.
I'm here at the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, and we are going to spend some time interviewing students to find out what they know about the total eclipse of 2017. What's happening on Monday?
The solar eclipse is happening.
Monday, the eclipse.
That's the right answer, the eclipse. Are you ready for the eclipse?
Oh, I'm pumped. I've been talking about it all summer.
What is an eclipse?
When the moon moves in front of the sun.
It's when the moon passes in front of the sun and creates a shadow on Earth.
What is the closest star to Earth?
The sun? The sun?
The sun.
The sun? Yes, the sun! Very nice. Will you demonstrate for me putting these on? We're going to put them over the glasses. The music you associate with the eclipse. What have you been listening to? What are you going to listen to?
Here comes the sun.
Total eclipse of my heart.
Do-do-do-do.
Da-na-na, like, I saved every letter you wrote me.
So I was really impressed with how much these students knew. We had a great time here. And now you can once again see the imagery we are pulling in of a white light telescope of 2 eclipses happening as we speak. These again are the partial eclipses, Salem, Oregon, and Madras, Oregon.
Right, as you can see, it's quite an image as that moon continues to progress. Transit is the term over the surface of the sun, getting closer and closer toward totality. And again, this is an opportunity for us to remind folks, regardless of whether you're watching this right now in Oregon or if you're anticipating the beginning of the eclipse from another location in the U.S. or really across North America, wherever you're able to view us from, that it's important that you have to have those safety glasses. We cannot stress that enough. We've been getting a lot of questions on social media, people just emailing us asking about that. You must have the glasses unless you are in the path of totality and during those brief moments of totality.
Right, and Sean is testing the glasses, but of course you can also watch the sun indirectly.
This is the end
there
of
are
the
a lot
world,
of ways. Nikki Vile, a solar scientist, just told us that you could even pull out a colander because it's got little pinholes in it. You can use a Ritz cracker that has a hole in it. The other thing is
there a way
you
I can
might
get
even
like
see
3D
the
movies
eclipse
and then watch them
image
here? How do they look? Because see, I watch
space
YouTube
between
videos
leaves
and they don't look that good.
There's some really wonderful ways of catching imagery of it. So you know, be safe, but don't think you absolutely have to have the glasses. That is not your only option. Should we talk a little about the science that
We should, but
Like they aren't they made for
give a shout out
Oculus?
to our website because you're talking about all these great ways to indirectly view it. And again, just a plug for the Eclipse2017.nasa.gov site where you can find all kinds of information, but especially some do-it-yourself instructions on how to create some of those indirect viewing methods.
Great, we've talked a lot here about the partial eclipse. Nikki Vile, who you just heard talking, she studies the corona, that is the atmosphere around the sun. And she was telling me just the other day how excited she is that she is going to be able to see that with her naked eye during the actual total solar eclipse. So that's what's interesting. We can only see that normally from space with our space telescopes.
Right, and even with that, I was talking to one of the heliophysicists back at NASA headquarters in Washington, D.C. Recently about this, that even with those artificial eclipses that they create from the coronagraphs, they're called, in space, it doesn't give you the same viewing opportunities that we have with a natural eclipse like we're seeing now. That there's actually a couple different layers of the sun's corona. We have the outer corona and the inner corona, and because of the way those coronagraphs work, they do not allow a good image of the inner corona, the part that's really close to the sun's surface. Only the outer corona. It's only during an actual natural total solar eclipse like we're viewing today across the country that scientists, heliophysicists, and others, and just the general public are able to see the entire corona, and that really gives them a lot more information. And remember, for these scientists, no matter where they are, they only have that brief, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 if you're really lucky, right in the center line of totality, to see the entire corona and get those measurements.
Yeah.
Everybody get air or what you do.
Yep.
So again, Karen, as folks are looking at their screen right now, you see that double image, Salem, Oregon, there on the left, and nearby Madras on the right. 2 different images with 2 different types of telescope using to view this eclipse. It's still in the partial stages, starting to get closer and closer toward totality in just a few minutes.
And stick with us because we are going to be tracing this eclipse all the way across the country. Not only does everybody in the country have a great view, but we have some views from the sky, don't we, Sean?
That's right. Looking up from the ground is how most of us will experience today's eclipse, but researchers at Southern Illinois University wanted a different perspective. They wanted to look down at Earth to image the moon's shadow. In Illinois and across the United States, teams are using high-altitude balloons for a unique perspective.
Right now, they're getting ready to launch a research balloon from Saluki Stadium in Carbondale, Illinois. We're going to go back to Carbondale, Illinois. The primary payload will be a real-time, high-definition video system. So let's check in on the progress of that launch.
Mystic astronomy here, we're experiencing it on lots and lots
Eclipse in 4D. It's just like being on the surface.
But you know, to actually understand the corona is very important because all sun-like stars have their corona. We need to understand why the energy is released in the way it is.
All right, look, we're getting a call. We need to go inside the stadium right now. They're about to launch the balloon for the Louisiana Space Grant Consortium. So let's go to Kevin, who's standing by.
He like it, you know. Nico, he like it when he do it. No. Do it again.
And all those instruments
strung
out along there.
Yeah, he like it.
Okay, can you hear me okay, right? Yes. This is Kevin Boucher. Sorry about the little mix-up. I was too enthralled looking at this fantastic weather balloon that has just launched. You can probably see it behind me. It is pandemonium here, but it's good pandemonium. One of the weather balloons has launched, and with me is one of the team members. Introduce yourself to the entire world. No pressure.
Hi, my name is Colleen Fava. I'm the program manager for the Louisiana Space Grant Consortium based at LSU.
Okay, so just to kind of keep a scorecard for people if they're wondering, we talked to, I guess, the program director, Dr. Gregory Guzik. He is your boss.
Yes, he is my boss.
What exactly does your job entail with this consortium?
I manage the program, so I write grants and reports and organize students and keep them on track, and I do communications training.
Sounds like you do a lot of outreach as well, and it thrills my heart, and I'm sure it thrills your heart to see so many of these young people. You probably did not have to drag these young people kicking and screaming to do this help, did you?
No, we brought 4 institutions with us, and LSU is the home team, and so they were always coming, but we actually had a competition to figure out which other students we would bring, and we brought a team of 46 people.
Okay, and right behind you now, I had forgotten, they're launching 2 balloons. Now the first balloon, I think we have a video of the first balloon. Okay, we're getting ready to launch the second balloon.
Both of our balloons launched already. That's
okay.
The first balloon, another.
The first balloon, Colleen, that was launched, where is it right now? Maybe 2,000 feet, you think?
They go up about 1,000 feet a minute, so a few thousand. It's probably been a couple of minutes now.
Okay.
So.
There it goes. This other one has launched. It's a big yellow balloon filled with helium.
Oh, so okay.
And the next time we see this balloon, we'll be down on the ground. It'll have wonderful data. Can you tell us about what goes into studying the winds and the weather reports, trying to calculate where this will land so you can quickly retrieve it and get your data? That's a whole nother science.
Yeah, so I'm not an expert on it. I can just tell you that we do our predicts. We started our predicts months ago and doing them, maybe every week or so, and then the last few weeks we've been doing predicts every single day. So we have a good idea. We think it'll go about 36 kilometers.
How can I get these sunglasses?
They're going to be white with
kind of staged and ready to go.
Triangle, and you just see
white wasn't light. Before, after
this is not logic.
But we have some local people
helping
us to make sure we have access.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Do
I have mine on here?
Hoping
No.
and expecting to
Sit down.
No.
Now, will you actually be
I think
on the
you have to turn it off and then
yourself?
No,
you put
I'm
it
not
on.
going to be on the
It's
chase
strange.
team.
Yeah.
I need to do logistics here on the
Now
ground.
it's on?
I have been on a
No,
chase,
it's on,
though,
yeah.
and it's very exciting.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, can you tell me about it? And please get
You have
us
to be
specific
safe with the
as
rice.
you can. What are some of the most eventful ones? Like, has the balloon ever come down in
Pontchartrain River?
How did you know? You're not kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. We did have a landing into the Pontchartrain River, which was not a great recovery, but it was definitely better than landing in the airport, which we were afraid was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say I would rather land in an airport because the Pontchartrain River, you have the water that might damage some of your instruments, but you're the expert then, right?
I think we'd rather not interfere with air traffic control.
That's true. Landing in a Pontchartrain River, and I assume the alligators did not make a meal out of your several $1,000s worth of instruments?
We didn't recover that payload, but we have done water recoveries in the past, and we actually just invested in an inflatable kayak.
Okay. My producer just told me we are seeing first contact. Everybody, we have people putting on their glasses the first contact. We are seeing the first contact, and we've got about 4 minutes left. How many total solar eclipses have you seen, Colleen?
This is my first.
I assume you have your glasses. Right. Feel free to go ahead and put your glasses on. Yes, please.
Yeah, nice.
You can make little spaces in between your fingers.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna.
And project little images of the eclipses down onto the ground.
Please
Make
be
sure you
there.
look down just as much as you look
Can't
up.
really see through them.
Also, if you
Right. Okay. My glasses are on. Are your glasses on too? Okay. And the sun, we are turning around. Would it be okay if I turn my back to the camera so I can see the sun? Oh, okay. I'm going to turn my back to the camera. Oh my gosh! There is a small bite starting in the sun. What are your comments?
I said that is gorgeous, isn't it?
That is fantastic. The total solar eclipse in Carbondale, Illinois has begun. A small bite is being taken out of the sun by our satellite called the moon. This is incredible. Earlier they were telling people to talk about in one word to describe the eclipse. The word for me is majestic. A lot of times, I don't know about you, sometimes if I want to, take a break on my computer, I can take these out. I will go to the solar, I think it's the Dynamic Observatory that often will give videos of the rotating sun. And Colleen, I don't know about you, but when I see that giant ball of gas just rotating, majestic is a word that comes to my mind. Could you agree?
I absolutely agree. It's amazing, and I think that we're really fortunate to have this opportunity and to be in community with our students and faculty and staff from multiple institutions here at SIU, who's been wonderful and very welcoming. It's just extraordinary.
It sure is. Thank you very much for your time. Keep up the great work. Thank you for talking with us. That was Colleen Fava with the LSU.
Thank you so much to Carbondale.
Thank you, Carbondale. That was amazing.
It's great, and I love looking at those images and how you can see different things at different parts of the country. It's wonderful to be sharing this imagery with all of you. We will have more from Carbondale later today. Please stick with us. We have so much coming up.
From there and from here at NASA's Eclipse Central here at the College of Charleston.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Ooh.
Wow. It's a moon. Hey, that's the moon. It looks like a crescent moon.
That's actually the sun. The white. The black thing is.
No, he's my dog. I buy it last night. He's a pretty good dog. Say woof woof, woof woof. Okay, you can't say woof woof. He's a big dog.
Oh,
He
nice.
has a pretty dog. Bizarre but pretty. Is it?
My love has a little more warm in it.
What the hell?
Toy.
Okay, this is God. You hear God here?
Yeah.
That's what Jesus, like Jesus Christ, is he's talking to us. Good dog. Okay, now don't move, don't move. Oh. Okay, the dog is here. I'm not here. I'm not here. It's not me. It's not me.
What's up, my man?
Hello.
Got some full body tracking or something.
I'm jealous. Where I live, I don't get to see the full thing.
Oh.
Hello.
Where's the dog?
Where is the dog? The dog
So I
is
just
moving.
went outside and so I just took my colander outside, tried to see some of the sun's reflected images on the ground. I think the holes were maybe a little too big and it just kind of didn't work. And then I don't know how to rip a hole in a piece of paper with a paper clip because it doesn't make a perfect circle, so they look kind of jank.
You see, I teach him to talk to us.
Looking out toward the horizon, we await the first glimpse of a total solar eclipse, when the movement of our moon completely blocks our view of the sun. Starting in the air from NASA's Gulfstream 3 aircraft off the coast of Oregon, we anticipate this awe-inspiring celestial event. Over the next 3 hours, we will track the solar eclipse as it moves across the entire United States from coast to coast. Observing this incredible event through the eyes of NASA.
Je sais, ils nous vendent de la publicité.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dwayne Brown from NASA's Office of Communications.
Yoo-hoo,
And over the next 3 hours, we're going to look through the eyes of NASA and experience today's total solar eclipse. I have a great team here on stage. Joining me to my immediate left is Jadi Kojado Vega, who is a space weather scientist. Solar scientist next to her, Alex Young. Over to my right, John Yimbrick, who will be taking your social media questions today, plus media specialist and meteorologist, very important man today, I must say, tracking the weather conditions across the path of totality, Sean Potter. Today, we're coming to you from NASA Eclipse Central here at the College of Charleston. Now, Charleston is the last stop of the total solar eclipse on U.S. soil. So we will track this eclipse as it moves east and heads this way. We're tracking the eclipse across the entire country to bring you the best images with the most compelling stories, along with science experts. Here from NASA Eclipse Central, we have views from ground telescopes, high-altitude balloons, airplanes, and from several NASA spacecraft. And yes, and I want you to remember this, audience out there, we even have live, no one else, only here at NASA, the International Space Station. If you want to see the eclipse as never before, stay with us through the eyes of NASA on NASA television. This is the place to be.
Je sais, je suis le seul troll ici.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y usted?
Okay, this is a win-win situation for America. We have a partial eclipse
Put my glasses
and
on.
a total eclipse. Explain the difference.
So today, pretty much the moon is going to come across the Earth and the sun. So North America, Central America, and parts of South America are going to see a partial solar eclipse, which means that the moon is going to partially block the sun. It's going to look like the moon took a bite of the sun, like you have seen on the previous images. A total solar eclipse is going to happen in a very narrow path, 70-mile wide, that comes all the way from Oregon, crossing the whole continent of the United States, and getting out here in South Carolina. You're going to see a total solar eclipse, which means that the moon is going to completely block the surface of the sun, and you're going to be able to see the solar atmosphere, the solar corona, with your own eyes. They will turn into night, which means the stars and the brightest planets are going to come out.
You see it?
Jadi, Alex, you guys have been waiting for this for a long time, as all these other scientists around the nation.
Speaking of glasses, we have the glasses creator and originator, Mr. G, I like to call him. We got the big G in the house, everybody. We got Genesis over here, the master creator of the only reason we're able to continue to still see with our protective eclipse glasses. Thanks, Genesis. Here, maybe I'll just maybe just Genesis. Maybe you want to just throw your hand up real quick, and then you can broadcast across the other space if you want to say hi to everybody. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Genesis, your front road. So thanks for making this app for everybody. We really appreciate it. Thanks.
Gotta make sure you guys don't get 99 years ago.
Yes, yeah. Here, like I say, here at Altspace, we take ocular health very seriously. So thanks, Genesis.
This is giving us an unprecedented opportunity to study, to look at the impacts on the Earth, to see the corona, and give us science like we've never had before. I mean, the last time we had this kind of connection to where we are and who we are is actually really the Apollo
hours and hours of content lined up.
And that gave us a perspective outside of just the Earth. It showed us that we were part of something bigger. And that's what this total solar eclipse brings
exactly.
for us.
Just wait till the darkness hits for that guy. He's just going to lose it.
Into the universe. And this is the most connected, most well-observed event that we've ever
They don't
had
have
in terms of a solar,
barf bags up there. They just have a bunch of tissue paper everywhere.
The experiences
a bunch of,
are going to be
a bunch of young scientists hugging.
Okay, so we're certainly witnessing a monumental celestial and historical event today. We'd like to take a moment to talk about safety. So, Jadi, can you help me out here? So,
I'll help you out.
You never look directly at the sun. And you may have seen these eclipse glasses, and they're designed with special purpose solar filters. Ordinary sunglasses, even very dark ones, are not safe for looking at the sun. Now,
we have
if you're in the
science to
path
thank
of
for that.
totality, there's a short time frame that you can take your glasses off. This is only
Jimmy,
when
do you
the
have,
moon
do
blocks
you
the
have
sun,
in
that is
real
going
life, do you have
to
protective
totality.
eyewear? You're going to go out and take a
Let's
peek?
watch this video to learn more.
What is in real life? No.
Oh. Wow. Weird.
It's glitching out for me.
That's like the sign of Skynet, us fighting Skynet, I think, if there's clouds in Silicon Valley. Oh, Bailey's Beats.
You see the arrow? It's like you enter here.
I only had to drive like 8 hours south to get into totality, and it's like, that would have been a really late night.
You see? You enter here.
What do they do?
Okay, so Alex and John.
Who's going to Altspace?
Very fortunate that I have
burn your
glasses, and a
This
lot
is
of
the
people
other
have
option.
glasses, but a lot of people don't have glasses. So what are other options? Let me start with
another
you,
option?
Alex, on how they can view the eclipse.
Well, the
safely.
simplest thing to remember to
burning
look
your
at
eyes.
it indirectly is
Really?
a
It's like a
pinhole
car air
viewer.
freshener.
And there's a lot of ways you can make a pinhole. You can take a simple piece of paper, poke a hole in it. In fact, I've got here a 3D map of the path across the U.S.
I have
with a
used his
hole in it
ears.
that I can
The holes are
use
too big, though.
as a
Yeah,
pinhole
I just tried
to
it. The holes are
project
too
the
big, though.
circular sun down on the ground, and then you can see the moon move across it. As a matter of fact, anything
Yes,
with holes,
yeah.
including this colander, is something you can use.
Yeah, make sure you
to
hit
look
the
at
like
eclipse. But you could
the
also
thrift store
use
before
something
you
a little
get
more
on national
sophisticated
TV.
if you want.
So you can actually make a box. You actually
Eclipses has
just
that box
do
been through?
2 holes in one side of the box, and then put white paper on the inside. Then put aluminum foil, do a hole in the middle, not too big, that you can actually project the sun inside the box. Make sure
the
that the
dirtiest
sun
way
is
of
actually behind
seeing
you,
a little
so you can
circle on the
actually
ground.
look at it inside
Like,
of the
can you
box.
make
It
like
will be an amazing
a little
projection.
thing with your hand and let's make a
Okay,
little circle and then you're
before
gonna see it on the
I talk to
ground? I
social,
should
I gotta
try.
do this because we're on the College of Charleston, and College of Charleston
Or
students
you
make some noise.
can kill someone. You can do it.
That's what I'm
in
talking
watching
about. Okay, so the social media
the
world
sun
is going to break
between
records.
her nose.
So let me toss through.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to put a, if you click on the emoji, you'll see the emoji tray come up. If you put your hand up, then you can have a chance to be broadcast across the spaces and say hello to everybody. So Josh, we got you transiting both spaces. So what do you have to say? Do you have some knowledge you want to drop on us?
Maybe, but I think one is
Eclipse
my school
2017
closed down for today because of this, and I'm asking
be sure to
sacrifice
follow,
to be
see if
here
I can remember
for
all these, NASA
see
on
everybody
Facebook,
that's seen
Twitter,
this,
Tumblr,
my friends texted me saying,
Instagram, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. Additionally, we're providing live coverage during the eclipse on Facebook Live, on NASA's Facebook page. You can ask your questions in the comment thread. Check out their streaming sites like NASA's Periscope account on Twitter, Twitch TV, Ustream, and on YouTube. And of course, you can watch it on NASA.gov and NASA.gov/.
Well, that's fantastic, Josh. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. We got about 10 minutes until the moment is going to start happening. It's going to be really cool as the shadow goes across the whole of the states. I forget how long it takes to go across, but was it like an hour and a half to go across? That seems like too long. But
it'll be like you're right here with us in Charleston, minus the sweltering heat.
Like an hour and a half to
Visit
go
the NASA
across,
Facebook page
2
to check it
minutes
out.
for it to be completely blocked
Finally,
out.
share your image of the eclipse with us using the hashtag Eclipse 2017 on our Flickr page.
yeah, I saw that. It's like 2,200 miles an hour as the moon's shadow crosses from the west coast to the east coast, ending in South Carolina in about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Well, John, it's social media is going to break some records, and we're going to be coming back to you more and
Oh,
more.
Jesus.
So you got to know that one of the most important things here for today is the weather. So Sean, you know, I'm looking at Charleston skies. We got clouds. I hope that's going to get better, but what's going on around the nation? Over to you.
That's right, Dwayne. Yes, the weather is the key factor for viewing today's total solar eclipse. Right here in Charleston, it's about 86 degrees, but with the humidity, it feels more like 99 right now. But what we want to do right now is show you a satellite image from our friends at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This is from the GO-16 satellite. It's a brand new weather satellite that NASA built for NOAA and was launched last year. That's going to give you the latest and greatest, very detailed imagery of cloud cover across the country. And what you can see is that things are looking really good for the early parts of the path of totality, places like Oregon and Idaho and Wyoming. And then as you get into parts of the middle section of the country, more places like Beatrice, Nebraska, maybe into Kansas City, Jefferson City, there is some cloud cover there that may hinder your ability to view the eclipse. And looks like as you get into Carbondale, skies are still pretty good there. There are some storm systems developing to the north in other parts of Illinois. And really, things are looking clear again until you get back here in Charleston. As you said, Dwayne, I'm looking up at the clouds to where the sun will be in about an hour. And there is significant cloud cover, but we're keeping our fingers crossed. I do see some pockets of blue in there. So hopefully we'll get to see something. But we'll have more for you later in the broadcast. Dwayne.
Sean, hopefully you can use some of your connections to get us some good weather here in Charleston. So the moon is already moving across the face of the sun. We're getting close to viewing our first total eclipse of the day.
I'm waiting for the lawsuits to come back for all those eclipse glasses that don't work.
And we will be bringing you live images as it occurs. NASA's Ames Research Center's Jesse Carpenter is standing by in Salem, Oregon at the Oregon State Fairgrounds.
I'm a long way from you. I'm in England.
Jesse, give us a status report.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Dwayne. Totality is almost here. Oh, this is so exciting. And just before we get to that, though, I want to introduce Andrew Edgecombe again from the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. Hey.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about this really fun, cool viewing event that's going on.
Yeah, well,
we are here. We have almost 9,000 people here at the Oregon State Fairgrounds, and we've had some cool stage presentations. We heard from NASA astronaut Don Pettit. He's an Oregon.
The end is nigh.
We had a University of Oregon professor, and behind us we have some space science partners who've been doing some cool educational activities and really interacting with the crowd. So it's been an awesome morning, and we can't wait for totality in a few minutes.
This is such a great event.
Wow,
thank you for joining us again. We really appreciate it. I know you got to get going.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
It's coming soon.
Oh no!
And joining us now to talk to us about the sun and give us more information is NASA lead scientist for Eclipse 2017, Madhulika Guhatakar.
Oh my gosh, it's almost happening.
Hi, Lika.
Kiki.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey,
Did you see?
It's almost here. So,
did you see Richie's? Did you see where Richie is right now? You might want to try going over there too.
I went to see 9 eclipses, and I actually landed up seeing 6. The other 3
oh my God, this is awesome. All right.
Weather.
Okay, guys, I'm just gonna head outside real quick and take some pictures through my. I'm gonna take some pictures through my welder's mask, and
understand better.
I just want to start.
If anybody has anything to say just before I head out, maybe throw up that hand, and we'll get you mirrored in here. And you can maybe tell us how you're feeling, some thoughts you have inside about this momentous event.
This magnificent, dynamic, magnetically variable star.
Okay, Josh, over to you.
Dominates every cubic inch of space in our solar system.
Hey, Josh.
And if I can get the video, what you would see in the video is that the sun produces storms that can be all engulfing, generating this environment called space weather. The inner edge of the corona that you see that's black in the video is because the sun is so intense that it overwhelms the dim brightness of the corona. And so even from space, we can't absorb the inner part of the corona. And not only Earth, but the entire solar system, as you can see, lives with this dynamic star. Corona is the region where space weather is born and conditions are set for a supersonic solar wind and a super hot corona, 2 of our outstanding questions in heliophysics in physics, really. To understand the corona better, NASA is actually going to be launching a mission next year, almost a year from now. How coincidental, called Parker Solar Probe. It is actually going to go touch the sun you know, and it's going to get closer to any other spacecraft has gone before to the sun to study the corona, to actually sample the very corona that we will be seeing very soon.
Yes, we will. It's almost here. Thank you, Lika, for joining us, and thank you for sharing that. So now we're going to take it back to NASA Eclipse Central in Charleston.
That's the Eclipse.
Take it away, Dwayne.
It's spinning circle.
Okay, just now coming in, we have an exclusive sneak peek of the total solar eclipse, and it is arriving at the United States. It's over the Pacific Ocean and about to reach Oregon. This is the celestial event that we've all been waiting and anticipating for years. We'll begin looking through the eyes of NASA out the window of our G3 aircraft. Let's take in the view.
What's that NASA defunded?
And now we're looking at the first glimpse of the total eclipse from the ground. Wait, let's see. That's still the G3. There we go. And now we're looking at the first glimpse of the total eclipse from the ground on United States soil. This is coming to us from Salem, Oregon, where thousands of people are gathered and experiencing this monumental event, a total solar eclipse. Let's take a look and take in the view.
That's so pretty.
Oh, wow. Let's try a different room.
That's the G3 there.
Oh man. Oh, it's getting like I'm only at 90%, but it's getting crazy. The colors outside, it's totally darker than normal. Wow, that's amazing.
It should be. The sun's covered over.
Yeah, it's too close to the sun's corona. Awesome. Heliosphere. Wow. Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
Viola. You're just an orb.
The moon has now moved, the sun is appearing again, and we can see the diamond ring. It's amazing, it's fantastic. You see the outer edge, I see prominences, little red pieces of chromosphere from the lower atmosphere. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Jody, what we got? That looks pretty cool.
I mean, it's breathtaking. I just, even seeing it right now through the TV, it's just an amazing thing to see. I cannot imagine what we're going to feel here in South Carolina when we have our chance.
Well, I hope we have our chance to, Sean, and, get that weather up here looking good here in Charleston. Now, what do we...
So,
Alex, what are we seeing here?
Is that from the G3? That looks like from the G3 because I see spectra there.
No, still from Salem.
That's still from Salem.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're seeing the bright actually the camera is causing a little prism effect there, and you're seeing the bright light from the edge of the sun. So that is really beautiful. That's sort of the edge of the diamond ring effect.
Yeah. So Alex, now, a reminder, Alex, so when that diamond ring pops up, that's what people should
it must be
That's
nice.
when people should put your glasses back on. So when you see that diamond ring after totality, that's the signal to you that it's time to put it back on.
Yeah.
So look now, we see the corona in Madras. That's gorgeous.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Being able to look at that with your own eyes is an amazing experience. And that only can be seen when you have this kind of totality.
So the corona, that's the
solar atmosphere.
That's what solar scientists really live for, right?
Right. Right. That is the origin. That is where the origin of space weather.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
That's where most of the solar flares and the corona mass ejections, big explosions of particles, originate from.
Now, if there was solar activity, would we see it right now? Would we be able to see that popping up on the sun?
If there was a coronal mass ejection leaving the sun, we could see it there because, in fact, we have seen it in the past, and I'll even show some history later with images that people drew of these coronal mass ejections leaving the sun during a total solar eclipse.
Now, why is it so critical and so important to really get this type of view from the sun's atmosphere from the corona? Johnny?
You mean like in a total solar eclipse?
Yes. There's a diamond.
That's the diamond ring again. That's amazing. That's from Madras.
Wow.
It is important to do this because we do this kind of eclipses artificially, but we do not do it as perfect as nature does. The moon covers the sun in such a perfect way that we see parts of the corona that we don't usually see.
So Alex, explain that and safety too, right?
So right now, this was the moment when you see that flash of light. That's the moment when it's time to put your glasses back on or start using your indirect methods, because now it's too bright and it could damage your eyes.
Yeah. Safety first, people. Always.
Wow. So the folks in Salem, Oregon, I mean, they're like juiced. I mean, they got it. They got the good.
They've got a perfect view, and they are seeing one of nature's most amazing spectacles.
I can only imagine the reaction on the ground from the folks there.
Oh, they are probably
gasping.
Completely overwhelmed right now. Completely overwhelmed.
Well, I certainly hope we get something like that. But we've got it here on the NASA television through the eyes of NASA. And we got the International Space Station coming up and other images only we can bring.
Only NASA can bring, yes.
Now, is it completely dark or is it coming out?
No, what's happening now is the filters are back on, the safe solar filters for the telescope, and now you see the crescent, which is the sun, basically now being revealed after the eclipse. So we're now back to the partial phase in the other direction.
Exactly.
Now, how fast is this going?
Well, this shadow is passing across the country, depending on where you are, anywhere from 1,200 to 1,800 miles an hour. So this is moving incredibly fast because the moon itself, in its orbit, is moving at almost 3,400 miles an hour. And that, in combination with the rotation of the Earth, is what gives us a shadow moving that fast.
Okay, so Gotti, let's talk about space weather. Seeing this and space weather is so important. So just let us really understand why it's important on space weather.
So space weather is pretty much the conditions created outside in space due to the sun. We look at space weather because we want to understand these conditions. If you look at the image that you have now, you're going to see SDO image, the Solar Dynamic Observatory. That's where we actually look for the source of space weather, where the solar flares and the corona mass ejections actually originate from. Well, when we look at SDO, at the images, we also have to look at artificial eclipses, like the one that you're looking at online now. These are actually from the SOHO spacecraft. These are the artificial eclipses that I was talking about, Dwayne. Like this, you have to block the solar surface to be able to see the solar atmosphere, the outside corona. But you're gonna see something like this today, and you saw it. But you're gonna see it better because nature does it better than we can actually do it artificially. Right now, the activity is not there's not too much going on in the sun. However, if I do a historic event, which actually was from this past July, you can see a coronal mass ejection, this big explosion of particles that come from the sun.
Well, those look pretty intense. Do we have to worry about that? That doesn't look good.
Well, you know, space weather, what can actually do is affect communications. We have the magnetic field of the Earth to actually protect us. It's our shield. And what we do is we actually can analyze that using real-time models like the one that you're seeing on the screen, that we actually understand how the magnetic field of the Earth changes with those coronal mass ejections. But space weather can affect communications, satellite instruments, and power grids.
Okay, so we're going to toss to Idaho. And I think we've really got some good stuff here. Gay Hill, are you there in Idaho Falls?
I am absolutely here, Dwayne Brown. In fact, looking through the glasses right now, it's so weird. We have a crescent sun instead of a crescent moon. This is the, I think we haven't had a total eclipse here in Idaho Falls since 1889, 128 years ago. And things have certainly changed in Idaho Falls since then. There's a whole lot more people, especially with all the visitors in town. We're just outside the Museum of Idaho, and we have partnered with the museum to make this an official viewing site for Idaho. And they right now have an exhibit on space, but we also sent in a team of experts. And for the past 3 days, we've had talks, we've had demonstrations, we've shown them visualizations such as eyes on the solar system, and we've shown them artwork. But really, the order of the day is the eclipse, and NASA has that covered too. They have sent an army of volunteers. We call them solar system ambassadors. They are all along the path of totality, and they're volunteers. These are people just telling people what they're seeing and helping them understand. We have one here, right here. His name is Richard Stember. Hey, Richard. He has been manning this mobile observatory, and that is what is providing our solar telescope shot right now. Now, we asked him, what's it like being a solar system ambassador? And he said, follow along. We did, and we went with him to a school in Southern California. Take a look. We apologize, there is no audio on that video, but it talks about the solar system ambassadors. There are about 720 in the United States. They get special training from NASA. They learn all about the missions and about the science, and they basically go out to public events all over the country teaching them about NASA missions. If you would be interested in becoming a solar system ambassador yourself, you can. We have a website, look it up, Solar System Ambassadors. It is a NASA website, and starting September 1 through the end of the month, you can sign up to be a solar system ambassador. So check it out on the web, Solar System Ambassador. With me now is Jim Green. Jim Green is the head of planetary science for NASA. He's in charge of all planetary missions and asteroids. This guy knows his stuff. Let's talk about this. Now, you see this eclipse that doesn't happen. It happens once in a lifetime. But as a scientist, you see it as an opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're getting the feeling right now, but when we launch balloons, and there'll be 57 balloons along the path.
A truly new and inspired person. I'm a new person now. I'm the person I used to be then, and now I'm the person I am now.
Just a few days ago, we had a crew here. They did a test launch for us, and they sent up an imaginary payload for us just to see how it all works.
Changed.
you have actual scientific experiments going up.
We do. We have a
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's still kind of happening, right?
It's like a harmless bacteria. We have
basically
30 balloons, 2 coupons.
I'm seeing that just a lot more of the sun.
One will stay on the ground.
I had like
one
90,
will be affixed
80%
to the
coverage
balloon.
or something. So.
It then will go up to 100,000 feet
so I'm in
above
Canada.
the ozone. So the ultraviolet light, also blocked a little bit by the moon, is just like Mars. In addition to that, the temperature and pressure will be just like Mars. So when the balloon goes up higher and bursts, comes down, we'll retrieve that coupon off the balloon, match it with the one on the ground, and then we'll see how many survive.
Now, why is that information so critical for Mars research?
Well, this bacteria is pretty much everywhere. It's very hardy. And
Turn
it probably
around,
has made its way to Mars, perhaps even on our rovers. And I would like to know if that.
All right, so I stepped up for a moment or two. If anybody wants to pop their hand up and tell us some of the feelings and emotions that you're having, and if this is cool or not, then let me know. Click on your emoji and put your hand up there, and we'll see if you guys have any interesting things to talk about.
And watch, and we can talk.
All right, Miko, we got you. We got you on line 1. How's it going in there, Miko?
All right. Hello, everyone. It's really great to be here, and it's wonderful that Altspace do it.
Well, you know, the plane of the moon.
I saw this
Earth's
eclipse in Finland in 1990.
So
it was
there's only
fantastic,
two places
and I hope
where
that
the
you are
moon
enjoying
and
this
the
year
Earth and
right
Sun
now.
are on that same
This is
line.
totally
And
awesome.
that's why every 18
And,
months or so we
it's
get
just
an
great to be
eclipse.
with people who are interested in space. That's all I
Wow.
1 minute away.
Look how dark it's getting. Well, that's fantastic, Miko. That's really great. I'm really glad that you're here with us. I'm glad you can share your experiences from the one that they had in Finland. So this is amazing.
You can feel the temperature getting colder here.
Yeah. The winds are really picking
Idaho.
up. You know, this dark area, the
Idaho.
winds are just flowing in.
Oh, you can
Tingly. I get tinglies.
see a tiny, tiny sliver right now.
I'm so happy I can't jump. Stop jumping.
All right, Nathan, we got you beamed in from the other room here. What do you have to say? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about all this totality here, Captain Potato?
Hey, it's pretty wild, man. I mean, not gonna see another thing like this in my life.
Cool.
You know?
That's awesome.
Look at those lucky people that get to be there and experience that. Look at the you can see the ISOs being balanced here. And you can see those Bailey's beads, and it's kind of hard to see from here, but they're able to see Venus and some of the other planets.
Those dances.
No.
Wow.
Really jumping.
Jeez, all I hear is people saying, "Oh my God," and I'm freaking out.
Nice.
You were saying this is the only way you can see the atmosphere.
Yeah, that lower part of the corona is really even hard from space to see.
Is that a
Yeah,
secret to
Schmitty,
what you're doing?
turn off the lights in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Set the mood.
Come on, we
Let's
can
get
block
it
them out.
cozy.
I gotta spend a second looking
Yo, take
around
out the
crowd.
bulb.
Oh my goodness.
Hang on.
We should turn off the lights.
How many robots does it take to
Maybe
unscrew
we
a
could
light
just
bulb?
all, if we all just squeeze in here and block it out.
All right, you get ready to put them back on yourself.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Have you noticed, Jim? The street lights are all on
Oh,
around
the
us.
street lights turned on,
We
of course.
confused the street lights.
Of course.
That's amazing.
Who would have thought that? We didn't plan that one.
All right, we should get ready for our glasses again. Get ready with your glasses.
Okay.
That
There it goes.
brilliant.
There's the diamond ring. There's the diamond ring.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Listen to that woman.
Yo.
That is
Was
so.
that all right?
It's Stiffy. What's up, Stiffs?
Oh my gosh. Whoa!
Yes. How you been?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Good.
Dude, are you using the Kinect?
Wow.
Yes.
Finally
Okay,
using
glasses back on.
Genesis, if you're gonna be like drop that wisdom, make sure I have you mirrored across all the spaces.
I've never seen you using Kinect.
Okay. We're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon, Jim. That was incredible.
Wait's too brief.
Yeah.
All right,
We
Idaho
got
Falls.
a minute 50 seconds.
Yeah.
That was all we had. Why is it that some parts of the country get a little more than we do?
What has to do with the curvature
All
of
right,
the
nice
Earth
bitter
also.
little statement.
And so
Mic drop.
the shadow is at various altitudes. You could go up at a higher altitude and get also a great view too.
Well, this was a real treat. This was fantastic. So Idaho Falls has had its total eclipse. The next one is coming in 2252.